Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I feel like I haven't been live in a very long time, and I apologize for that. It's oh, last week was the last 2 weeks my daughter's been on holiday, so it's been just a bit difficult to get all that done. Um, but I'm back. I'm back. Let's let's say that I'm back. I'm back. So, oh, you're seeing this. I don't really want you to see that. That like that. Okay. So, first off, how's the weather? Because I always have to give a weather report, right? Um, yeah, it looks like in Cape Town that the winter has decided to come early. We have had 2 days of rain. It's cold. Winter seems to be setting in. And yeah, exciting times. Time to go back to the cold weather, which is for me much better. Better to work in as well. But yeah, okay. So I have a wedding coming up, and I'm going up to Joburg to do the wedding cake. My husband is part of the bridal party, and it's a very good friend of mine, and I'm doing her wedding cake. And she is wanting to have sugar flowers on her cake, which is great. But I have to make them now, and I am going to have to box them very carefully and very delicately, and be very gentle with them and carry them on as hand luggage on the plane because yeah, I can't ship them. I can't do them there because it's too late. It'll be too late in the time. So yeah, so I'm busy prepping all of that now because it will be in 3 weeks time, and unfortunately I won't be live that week either because because we're away in Joburg. And what I will probably end up doing is doing a recording and then possibly posting it. But yeah, I won't be going live that week either. But in the meantime, I have to prep those flowers, get those flowers. So I'm going to have to make duplicates. So even though I'm probably only going to use like one rose and one of this and whatever, I'm going to have to do duplicates for just in case something breaks. So I have made my own sugar paste as I do my own gum paste, and it works really well. It's a lot stretchier, and it actually dries to like glass. So yeah, so once it's dry, it's very much breakable and very fragile. But I'm going to do a series up until I leave with all these flowers that I'm doing. So today we're going to start with, so she's got an array of different flowers, and there's leaves and all that kind of stuff. And I'm trying to think of, I can't remember the actual names, but they're different types of roses. Not the usual ones like I've made. It's more, they're fuller, they're bigger, they're frillier, that kind of rose. There's baby's breath, which we're going to be doing today, and how to make baby's breath. Baby's breath is, I would say, fairly simple, but I have to make a lot of it. I have to make a lot. That's the issue with baby's breath. I have to make a lot of it, but to give it the effect, it needs to be quite full. So sorry, I'm having to I'm just trying to see where my camera should be, because so that you can see better. I'm going to just switch my logo off for now because yeah, just so that you can see more of what's going on. I'm just trying to see more. I don't want to be in the way. So the gum paste I made last week already, so that, because it needs at least 24 hours to, I want to say, develop. You know, you can't use it straight away once you've made it. You have to let it settle for at least 24 hours and leave it in the fridge. And then yeah, and then once you start using it, it stays in the fridge. You can see it's quite pliable, stretchy, and I can roll it super thin. Sorry, I'm going to be able to roll it quite thin, which is what I want to be able to do. I'm also going to be doing everything in white, but everything. So I'm not going to color my sugar paste, because I'm going to possibly airbrush and dust all the flowers in the colors and shades that I want it to be. So I'm not actually going to have a base color. I'm going to keep it at white so that I can keep the colors quite pure and clean. The color scheme is basically mauve, which is like I'd like, you know, if you know what slate blue looks like, I'm going to say it's like a slate purple. But yeah, there's shades of and there's oh, I need to make berries. I've just realized that. I've got to do berries as well, because her colors are mauve, silver, gold, rose gold, and, well, in those lines of colors, and navy. So to bring in the navy, I'm going to do some berries as well, which I'll need to make quite a few of. But we're going to start with the baby's breath, because the baby's breath is quite hectic in that I've got to make a lot. So that's nice. So I'm only going to be using a very little bit at a time, because we're going to roll this up very thinly and we're going to get quite a few out. So I don't want to be using, there's no need for me to use with like a big lot at one time. One of the things that we need for baby's breath are these inners. So this is basically just the inside, you know, like the stamen, whatever. So you can buy these like this, and they come double-sided, and then all we need to do is split them in two. Baby's breath is only going to need one, but you know, flowers like tiger lilies, and that you would use these, and then you would use like 2 or 3 in one, and you'd have them at different lengths. But one, I need to have we need to put these in the center, because so even though baby's breath doesn't actually have these in the center, we need them so that I've got a stem, and I'll probably do it in a way that we kind of like hide the yellow stamen, which is also okay. But these are they've got, this is not a wire, not quite a wire, because it doesn't really bend. It's like almost like a thick cotton, but you can buy them like this. You can actually make them. I remember years ago, my mom, when she used to do sugar flowers and stuff, she used to make these, and I think it's actually dipped in royal icing. Sorry, I just want to check something. Why? This is the first time I've had this kind of thing happen in my life. I'm not sure if anyone's going to see this once it's oh, I am not too sure what to do here. So I'm just going to remove this because I don't particularly want this kind of thing on my live chat. And yeah, you know, seriously, this is not the platform for this kind of thing. And I'll just basically report. Bye. Anyway, for those that might, I don't know if you're going to see this on the live, if on the playback, but basically someone is sending me some not so very nice messages while I'm live, so I'm just blocking them. Anyway, so and they are back. So how do I oh, love, I have a random on my live chat talking about explicit stuff. I don't know how to block them. I've reported them, but I don't know how to block it. And they keep coming back. Now you see when I go over, I'm able to report them. Sorry about that, guys. Let's hopefully we got rid of that person. Anyway, so we're gonna I've got quite a few of these. I'm probably gonna need to make a lot more than this because baby's breath is usually used as a filler. So we need our stems. The reason why we need these stems is that we're gonna attach it to another stem. So okay, and then I'm going to use probably this one. I'm going to try this one. The only reason why I don't usually use this one, it tends to break because these pieces are too close. So I'm gonna probably use this one. These are my mom's, so they're super old. She's yeah. They were hers for many years. So we're going to just roll this out like really, really thinly, as thin as we can, without breaking anything. And you can see that it goes quite thin, much thinner than gum paste, much thinner than if we were using fondant. And I wouldn't recommend making sugar flowers out of fondant, and not even adding, you know, to do sugar flowers out of fondant with CMC. It's just not going to work. And we're just going to make as many as we can. So what I find with this sugar paste is that basically in this time this is going to start drying quite quickly because it's super thin, and I will probably end up throwing these pieces away. I don't reuse it because it becomes harder and harder. So that's why I try and get as much as I can out of this one little piece that I've rolled. I'm going to use this, and then we're going to just like lift it, and you'll see it's quite clear. You know, it breaks away quite nicely. I don't think usually when these pieces go hard, so then I can't really use them again, but I'll see how it goes and how quick I can work. I decided to start with baby's breath first because I need to do quite a bit of it. And I'm only going to be live for like an hour, because obviously then it's going to be monotonous, and I'm not doing anything else other than this. So we're not going to poke a hole in or anything like that. I'm going to show you how we're going to do it, because baby's breath gets quite, it's like a little fluff. It's just almost like a little ball of fluff really, but a really tiny ball, which is why we're using the smallest little flower that I have. And then we're going to I'm going to be doing this on Friday again. Not baby's breath. I'll do a different one on Friday, the next flower that I need to make on Friday for about an hour or so. And then I'll, you know, next week, Wednesday, I'll be doing it right up until I leave, so that I can get all these flowers done and, you know, beautified. Obviously, and baby's breath is white, so I don't have to do anything with these either. So once they're done, they're done. It's just a matter of putting them on. I think what I might end up doing, I'm going to see the difference. I'm actually going to try it both ways, because I've got really super thin wire. Bought new super thin wire. I bought it in green. So it's really, it's basically the same. It's basically the same as this white one, but it's actually wire, so it bends. Just see if I can. Oh, I can. I'm going to be able to reuse this. That's awesome. What I'm probably going to do with, because it's white, and I love putting it just makes such a difference. I love to put the shimmer colors on. Excuse me. I like to put the shimmer colors on, even if it's white, because it just looks so pretty. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to, let's see if I can move here so that you can see better. We're going to put one of these in the center. So the whole point of the blob on the end is to actually hold it in so that it doesn't go right through. But I'm going to try it both ways without the blob because it might look better without it. So we pushed it through. Sure, I hope you can see this. And then we're just going to squeeze the bottoms. Turn it upside down. Oh, and you know, obviously my fingers. We're just going to squeeze it so that they see now. For me, what's happening is that the yellow is too big and it's causing a problem. So this is how generally it's done, but I kind of don't want that. So you can see it's a tiny little you just got to kind of squeeze it so that it holds. But now the problem is that this is pushing through. So I'm going to see what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut some of these. I need the stems to be long enough so that I can incorporate them onto a stem. And we're going to use florist tape. So we're using florist wire, and we're going to then use florist tape. So my idea is to possibly just bend this in a little bit, so we're not going to have the yellow bits, and I think that might work out better. Sorry, no, I've got a funny piece on here. Okay, so I'm going to bend this little bit, just a little bit, just like have a tiny little loop. Sure. And I don't think my camera can zoom in anymore without it starting to look a bit weird. So we're just going to make a tiny little loop like that, just so that there's a little bubble. And I've done something that I haven't. I should have made some sugar flour glue. So basically, we're going to do the same thing, except I'm just not going to have that yellow bubble. Or it is a bit okay. I'm trying to, so these, the problem is that these are drying out really quickly, which is the reason why I didn't want to do so much at one time. I'm going to try and I can't get them to, I feel like my fingers, I've got small hands. That's not going to work either. Okay, I need to, sorry guys, this is now looking like, as usual, I know how to do these things. It looks like I don't, but sometimes they just don't work out the way I want it to work out. And I've just realized that I don't have any glue. And what's happening is that they're drying out too quickly, so I need to do even less at a time, because they're drying out too quickly because they're so small. And then also I need some glue. So I'm just going to quickly make some glue. I'll make it in front so that you can see. So I've got a lot of Tyler, which I use. Let's just bring that some more. I use a lot of Tylose because I make it for my gum paste and everything else. But obviously Tylose as well can be used to make your sugar paste. I mean your sugar glue, your flour glue. So I'm just using a really only that much inside here, and maybe 2. I don't use a lot. You don't need a lot. Okay. And then I'm going to put, I use hot water, but I'm only going to do half a, 3/4. Because what's going to happen is that's going to become like a gel. It's going to become like a gel, and I'm going to have to add more water in it once it becomes like a gel. And it happens quite quickly. And see, it's already starting to thicken up. And then I just add more water once it becomes too gel, so that, because I need it to be a little bit oh, I've got the camera right next to me. I need it to be more runny than not, because if it's too much like a gel, you're not going to be able to really use it, and you only need a little bit, a very little bit for it to work. Okay, so I'm going to try this again with a smaller piece in the hopes that it's, you know, I'm not too sure what I've touched. I actually think, I don't think I've touched anything. I don't think that this is kind of clean. So I cleaned my mat, and obviously not enough, because my white is going blue. I'm just going to also give it yet another wipe, because I don't know why it's going. Just going to use this. I think, even though it looks like it's clean, it's not actually. And I think in the cracks of this mat, color from previous things is sticking. Let's try that, because I know my hair is clean. Like that. Let's try that. Hopefully that will work. Right, let's try again. There we go. Let's just dry here. Let's see. Okay, so what I'm actually gonna, I'd like to do it with the yellow, and what I might do is actually just do a combination of the two. That might work out better. So yeah, I'll do like a combo kind of thing. Okay, so I'm gonna try it with a smaller amount rather than a big amount. Because obviously it really does dry quickly, and probably a little too fast for my liking. And I've used a new piece as well, because the last piece was looking a bit blue. You know, I really do need to have it white. But so what I'll do is I'll probably end up dusting everything with some of the shimmer colors, the shimmer white. I wonder if this one will work. I can try, but it might actually. Let's try this one. That's why I think I also do like a combination of the two. This might give me more of a frill, which is what I'm looking for. Let's try that. I have various sizes of this one, and even in the bigger size, it tends to break quite easily. So it's why I don't really use it. just thinking, because the baby's breath is quite a, it's like a little, like the most minute little pom-pom, really. Just like thinking maybe it needs a double. Do it as a double, I suppose. Try to make it look as realistic as possible, right? Back in here so that it doesn't dry out, because we don't want any of this to dry out. Okay, so I'm going to try and do a double. So I'm just going to put a little bit, tiny bit of glue in the center, and then pop one of these like that, and I'm going to offset it, and then I'm going to push. I don't want to make a hole, I'm just pushing it gently, because if I make a hole, then there's going to be a big hole, and I don't want a big hole. I'll only make a hole with this, which is what I'm wanting to do, like that. I'll put a little bit of glue in the center because I'm going to try and make those pieces stick. That's what we want. That's what we want. Oh. So, and now, obviously with me trying to see. So these will dry like this. Yeah, so this flour that I'm using now is probably the better one to use. I'm just going to pop that there for it to dry. The double looks nice. Just need to offset it nicely. Which will just mean that I'll need to do this twice. I'll put a little bit of glue in the center. Let's just try it with the yellow. This one. I'm just pushing it gently in the center. I'm not making a hole because I'm just trying to make it like a cup so that I can squeeze it in. Because then I'm going to make a hole through there. So that looks quite cute as well. I think with the double, then we're able to kind of just make it, you know, like frilly. Pull those pieces out. Push those ones up. And then we get a cute little flower like that. So it does look, it actually looks nice with the little yellow in the center. So I'm probably going to end up doing half. Like do some without and some with them in. Which I think will work quite nicely, because then it'll just give it like a, you know. This friend of mine is kind of giving me a little bit of artistic license with her cake, as long as I'm within, you know, relatively what she wants, and you know, I can do whatever with the flowers, and as long as we decided that we were going to keep the flowers that she do it so that the flowers match the flowers that she's using. Okay, so I'm just going to do the yellow ones now because I need to bend those so that it hooks. if you don't bend the end, it's going to go right through. So even when they dry, it's just going to pull right through, and you kind of don't want it to pull right through. So I'm not squeezing it too much. I'm just squeezing enough so that the pieces get squashed together over there so that they seal. Probably should use a bowl rather than this piece. I'm going to switch my camera off just so that you can get more, not in the way, and you can see what I'm doing. And then just separate the flowers like that so that you get that like fluffy double look, which really looks really cute. Those look really cute, and these are going to dry so fast. So yeah, we'll be able to, you know, put them together quite quickly, so long as I can get as many out as, you know, possible. Okay. What's nice with the little yellow bit is that you're able to kind of just hold on to it a bit to squeeze that bit in. And then you just have a little bit of it peeking through, which is really cute. And you just got to work really gently with this, because this stuff is, because it's quite thin, it's fragile. I just want to make enough so I can show you how we can, how we'll put them all together on one stem. So obviously, you know, the longer these sit, the quicker they are drying, and then it's going to be harder to work with them because they're not going to be able to bend because they're drying flat. So this is why I'm just trying to work a little bit fast. Might not look like it. just going to do some of these ones. So we're just going to bend, just going to make a tiny little loop. And this wire is so thin that you can actually just use, like I can cut it with my normal scissors. That's how thin it is. So you can actually just use your hands. To close it up. So I have to make a lot of these. I have to make a lot of all the flowers just in case something breaks, so that I can at least repair it if need be when I start putting the cake together. Ordinarily, probably I wouldn't really make too much normally, but because I'm traveling with it, I need to just, you know, make allowances for breakages while we're traveling. Oh. And again, we'll just use a little bit so that it's easy to work with if we do a little bit at a time. Yeah, as much as you want to like almost rush it and do a lot one time, sometimes it's just better not to do that, because obviously then you can't work with it well enough, because it will dry out. Just unless you're able to work like really, really fast, which, as you can see, it's so it's so tiny and so delicate that you can't actually work that fast with it. You can go as fast as possible, but at the end of the day, you can only go so fast without not doing it properly. Okay. So these are working quite well. So I'm going to just use this one particular flower because I quite like the frill. And just make sure that we cut it nicely. Just pop them. If they're cut nicely, then you actually just need to pop them out. And you'll be able to do that quite easily. Same thing, just, and not really, honestly, not too much glue, because too much glue obviously then will get onto your fingers and make it really sticky on your own fingers and stuff, and you don't want that. because then, yeah, then it's all just going to get all sticky and messy. Same effort, just it just doesn't have the yellow in the middle. Quite like both, actually. I think both work well. So yeah, you just kind of need to make it like a bucket like that, and then push it down, and then just use the tip there to hold on to a bit, so that you can pull that down. Just seems fluffy and pretty. So I'm going to have to make a few strands, a few branches, if you will, to be able to actually have the effect that we need to have. But this will be probably enough to make one branch, and then I'll show you how to make that one branch. Now you put the one branch together. Just finish that. So you can see how I've squashed it so that it almost sticks to the wire, because you don't want it falling off once it's dry, because that's what can happen if the hole and it's not stuck to the wire, then these little pieces can actually fall off once it's on the actual branch. this is our last one that we're going to do because I've only got one left of that, so I'm not going to do another one. Oops. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take wire. I'm not going to use a very thick wire. I have some really thick wire. I want to see if I've got green in that. It will make my life easier. Okay, so I've got various color. You can get these florist wires in white or in green, and I generally just take what I can get, depending on what I'm able to get at the time. Sometimes I can't get what I need, but that really doesn't matter because we use florist tape, right? So when these are dry and ready, I'm going to actually just take some luster dust, the opal, the nice pretty white opal, and I'm going to I'll brush them because I like seeing when I'm doing these kind of things. What's really nice is seeing the shimmer and shine. It just gives it a whole different kind of look. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our one stem. So this is going to be one stem. And then we will, I don't know how long I'm going to need it, whatever. So I'll just do one full stem to about there. Hold on. I'm going to bring some in here so we can just make sure we get it right. So we're going to do the same. So we kind of want it to be the same as this. So as you can see, let's just take one piece out. So you can see that it's like that. So that's what we're going to try and recreate. So basically we're going to have one stem. We're going to have one branching like that. So that's what we're looking for, that kind of thing. So I'm going to work according to that. So let's have a look, see if I can get it like that. So we've actually got really one main stem. And then we're going to put a few of these on top. And then we'll have to add a stem. So what we do, we take our florist tape and we fold it so that we can get it nice and tight, because we need to be able to pull this tape to make it more stable. So I'm just going to break it off there, make it easier for me to work with. And then we're going to put, and again, mostly things work in threes and odd numbers on flowers, if you've ever really looked at it. And then you're just going to twist it round. Don't want this tape to be too thick. So I'm going to just put these in a offset way. I'm just going to pull it as tight as we can. To get it so that it doesn't come out. And then we're going to put one more there so that we have this also offset. So if we do these, so these things, these ones don't particularly bend, but the green wires that I've used, that does, and that actually helps quite nicely, because then you can bend it and shape it the way you want it. Okay, so we're going to come down a little bit more. So we've got these three. See, they're not bending, they're just hanging around. So we kind of want them to be a little bit more bent, I feel. So that's why doing it on the wires rather, I think, is going to work out better. And just pull it quite tightly. And you want to use the whole point of using the green glass wire is so that it looks green, right? So that it looks like a branch, even though these are white. But I think, yeah, like I say, I think the pieces, I'm going to add a piece of green wire to this. So I'm going to put a piece, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually, so that's the start of it, and then I'm going to do another one over here. So this actually only has 3 little tufts of branches, so I'm going to do I have enough to do 3 tufts? I think so. That might be a little too long. That's fine. I'd rather have them too long than too short, and then I can't use it. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to add so you just want to get this florist wire sometimes it's not sticky enough, so you just really need to pull it. When you by pulling it, it kind of becomes sticky. It's weird. Okay. So oopsie. Again, very gently. Got to be careful because it's fragile. They break very easily. So you'll see the difference now. I'm going to show you between using the wire like we've done on these ones. Oops, you see now that one just fell off because the hole was too big. And also when they're touching each other, they can you know, bump each other and stuff. I'm gonna pull this. Oh, no, man, because I haven't let them dry. Okay, I have to do those again. Just, yeah, be careful. Let's see. Okay, so you can see with these ones, because they're the wire, we can actually bend them in any direction that we want them to bend. Which is pretty cool. Okay, so I'm going to do another set of 3 on here. And then I'm going to add this one to this one. And we can even do, just looking at it, we can even do just little buds. Tiny little buds. So we can do that as well, which I might actually do. Just to give it, because that also just makes it look more authentic. So then, because it's wire, we can just pull these out. And if our fingers are too big, you can just use the wire, pliers to move them to the directions that you need it to be. Let's see if it doesn't fall off. No, it's falling off. I'm just going to turn that into a bud. And just roll it. So you'll have that. And then you're going to add that to this. And then I don't have enough, but I would want to add another one. So for me, I think I'm definitely going to use the wires more. The wires, because I can move these around the way I want them and shape them the way I want them. Whereas these, they're not wires, so they just hang. However, you know, if you put them on tight or not. So we can do that. So I feel like this one would need another spray over here on the side, so that we get this effect. Okay, so that we've got some, so you can see how tiny this is. I mean, they're like shriveled up, they're tiny and fluffy. So obviously that is really, really small, so it's really difficult to make it, but this will work. So we've already got those two like that. We just need to add a third one. So I'm going to need a few of these like this. So as a combo like this with a third one. So I'll have to do quite a few of them. But that's basically how you put it together, and then how you put them on. And it's quite simple. So obviously the more you have it, you know, the more it's going to look like that. Obviously, like I said, these are more like they look like little balls of fluff, and it's sugar flowers. It's really tiny, so it can be difficult to try and make such tiny things. Anyway, guys, I'm going to love and leave you, because obviously, as you can see, I'm going to have to be making quite a bit of this. Yeah, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you on Friday. I'll see you on Friday when I come on live with my next flower. Yeah, I also need to I'll also do leaves. So anyway, guys, I will let you know. I'll post it when I'm on again, but definitely Friday again for an hour, and then next week Wednesday, Friday. Oh no, wait, next week Friday is Easter Friday, so I probably won't be live next week Friday, but definitely Wednesday, and then the week after, and then I've got to be in Joburg. Anyway, guys, chat to you soon. Bye.